if you're going to go to a church, you need to submit yourself to that pastor and that authority. And, you know, you got to make sure you don't use that as an excuse to just, you know, feed off television and books and tapes and so forth. But I know people in other countries that have nothing, and they might get hold of an Andrew Wommack book or broadcast. I was doing an ICFM conference in Sri Lanka, and there was a pastor there that had gotten some of our books, and he said, I want you to come see my house. He had a block house, concrete block house, probably wasn't 600 square feet, right on the Indian Ocean. We walked in his house. His pride and joy was his library that he had built, and it was concrete blocks with boards. He had books from the floor to the ceiling. And I saw your books, my books, books from all over the country, Word of Faith. He said, this is where I've learned everything. And now he's pastoring a church. And he said, and my house and my library has become the source for all the other pastors, and they come and check out books. He says, I just have one of each one, and they're precious, so they can't keep them. They have to bring them back after they've read them.
That's powerful.
Well, those people didn't have a church to go to.
Yeah.
So the television, because they didn't have social media back then, television, satellite, books, tapes, anything they could get was precious to them. So if you're in a situation like that, I can understand you're not going to church, but you need to find a local church, even if you have to drive an hour.
But you need to address this too, because you could do it better than I could. But a church is one of the places you get the Word from, but we've got all of these other resources today. Church is much more than just hearing the Word. There is community. There's relationship. Like, for instance, I can't bury your relatives if they die. I can't train your children. To a degree I can, but not like a church can. I can't be there if you fall into a negative circumstance and need your children, you know, you need somebody to take your children to. A ministry like mine may be able to minister the Word better than maybe your local pastor can, but there is so much more that a church supplies than that, and you need to evaluate that there's more to church than just hearing the words. You need this community. You need these relationships. And
this is what I teach the third-year ministry students that you asked me to teach, and I wrote my syllabus, The Heart of a Pastor. And I try to get the ministers that are feeling called to the pastorate to realize the shepherd's heart. God, many times in the Old Testament and in the rebuked shepherds that were devouring the flock. They were using them for their own benefit. They were scattering the sheep. And he said, I'm looking for pastors, ministers after my own heart. So a pastor is different in this respect. Hebrews 13:17, it says that you are going to have to give account of how you watch for their souls. And boy, that went in me years ago. And the thing that bothered me the most is if I'm going to have to give account how I watch for those people's souls. So it's not about me, it's about them and having God's heart for them. And that's what a true pastor should be doing. And he has to raise those people up. Jesus is their shepherd. You're just the under shepherd. And I read that Hebrews 13:17 in the beginning, and I said, Lord, this is not fair. You're going to judge me. I'm going to be held accountable for how I watch for their sheep, but they're not my sheep. They're yours. I said, I want scripture and verse. And he quoted me that scripture out of Samuel where it said, and David kept his father's sheep. So pastors need to really get a heart what pastoring is all about. And I guarantee you at Charis Bible College, you'll learn that.
Amen.
So there's multiple things involved in a church. And some of you, if you're in a small community, you may really not have a church that you can go to that is building you up. It tears you down every time you go. But if you are in a decent-sized town, I can guarantee you can find some church that it may not be exactly what you believe, but you know what? I'm not sure I agree with myself on everything I preach. I'm not sure that the pastor of the church agrees on everything. You know, you don't have to be 100% in agreement as long as they are moving in the same direction, as long as you can move, you know, in the same direction. So I really believe that being a part of a church is important. You shouldn't be isolated. Satan isolates people from the church, and he can pick you off one at a time. We need each other.
Yes, we do.
It's really important. We're out of time.
We're out of time.
Man, this seemed like it went really quickly.
It did. You know what I love about this, and I think this is precious for you guys having joined us, is that you're getting to hear so much as far as, different generations sitting around this table. You're at a different place in your life, but you can learn, you can grow. Can you share again the proverb the Lord gave you? I think that's good for everyone to hear again, just the aspect of what you think you know.
My proverb?
Yes, your proverb.
He said, what you know, you know. Mm-hmm. What you think you know, you don't. And what you don't know, you will.
So that keeps you teachable. So that's
We're all growing.
That's our goal, is that you keep growing and that you're encouraged, and it's something that tonight just stirred you up. And if you have more questions and you need prayer, our prayer ministers are standing by. So you say, I need to grow in something. Does Andrew have a specific topic on that, or book on that, or something that's powerful? Please call us 719-635-1111. You'll be blessed by that. So
thank you for joining us, and happy thank you for being here.
Oh,
I believe
thank you
you've
for
been a
having
blessing
me.
to people.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And so we love you and thank you. And remember, we do this every Tuesday night. And we also have a live cast on Monday night, our Truth and Liberty. Yeah. And is it next? It's 2 weeks from now. I think that we're going to have
17th.
Steve Green with us.
That's the 24th,
okay.
I believe.
And who's next week? Do you
It
know?
doesn't say.
Anyway,
so it's going to
be
be awesome, though.
So thank you for being a part of this, and go to our website, check it out, and if you need anything, call, and these prayer ministers will be glad to minister to you. Thank you for being a part of it. God bless you. Good night.
Good night.
Join us next Tuesday for our live Bible study. To receive notes and to win giveaways, visit our website,